Hello YouTube, this is ChardarYuGiOh here on the organization, and today I'm just going to discuss the new erratas for OCG cards that are coming off the forbidden list. These are cards that have been banned for a long time and are now being limited, but with new effects. You've probably heard about this, but if you haven't, I'm going to read through them. Chaos Emperor Dragon cannot be normal summon set, must be special summoned from your hand by banishing one light and one dark monster. During the turn you activate this card's effect, you cannot activate other effects, so any other cards or any other effects. Once per turn you can pay 1,000 life points, send all cards on the field and in both players' hands to the graveyard, and inflict 300 damage to your opponent for each of your opponent's cards sent by this effect. Ring of Destruction, you can only activate one Ring of Destruction per turn. During your opponent's turn, target a face-up monster your opponent controls whose attack is lower than or equal to your opponent's life points. So this card can't be used to win the game anymore or force ties. Destroy that monster, and if you do, take damage to that monster's original attack, then inflict damage to your opponent equal to the damage you took. Crush Card Virus. Tribute one dark monster you control with 1,000 or less attack. Check your opponent's hand and all monsters they control, and destroy all monsters with 1,500 or more attack. Then your opponent can destroy up to 3 monsters with 1,500 or more attack from their deck. After you activate this card, all damage your opponent takes until the end of turn becomes 0. So this card only lasts for 1 turn now, and they get to send 3 monsters from their deck to the graveyard. So that card is pretty much useless now, in my opinion. Temple of the Kings. You can only use each effect of it once per turn. 1, you can activate 1 trap card you control during the turn it's set, or you can send both this card and 1 face-up Mystical Beast Circuit to the graveyard to special summon 1 monster from your hand or deck, or 1 fusion monster from your extra deck. Exchange of the Spirit, you can only activate 1 Exchange of the Spirit per duel. If each player has 15 or more cards in their graveyard, pay 1,000 life points. Both players swap cards in their deck with cards in their graveyards, then shuffle decks. I think that card's kind of cool now. I don't think it'll see play, but that's a much better effect. And Sinister Serpent, this is probably my least favorite errata. You can only use the effect of Sinister Serpent once per turn during your standby phase. If this card is in your graveyard, you can add it to your hand. During your opponent's next end phase, banish 1 Sinister Serpent from your graveyard. So these erratas currently are only in the OCG. We don't know if we'll be getting these erratas at all, or if we do, when we get them. Personally, I'm not sold on the idea of erratas at all. I think cards should just stay with what they do, and they can release new versions of the card, like retrained versions. But I don't like changing what existing cards do, because it devalues cards in your collection, because you don't know if they will always have the same effects. But on the other hand, it is kind of cool that they're trying to reintroduce banned cards back into the game, so classic cards will be able to see play again, and it does allow for some more creative deck building, and it shrinks the forbidden and limited list, which I think is a pretty good thing. So you can post, I'm very conflicted on this right now. Either way, I'm going to keep playing, so I guess I'll just have to get used to it. So you can post your opinion in the comment section down below, and peace out, YouTube.